금요일 날짜 우리나라 영어신문 3개를 간략하게 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Dr. Snap Presidential Medical Reform Committee, a special presidential committee on medical reform, was launched on Thursday as medical professors' resignations began taking effect. However, representatives from senior and trainee doctors groups did not respond to the government's call to join the inaugural meeting. The committee held its inaugural meeting on Thursday morning at the government complex in central Seoul, hoping to find a breakthrough amid an intensifying standoff between doctors and the government. The medical reform is a task that can no longer be delayed, the committee said at its first meeting. Min Hee-jin fired back at HYBE. ADORCO says new genes was pushed aside by Bang Si-hyuk. GDP up 1.3% in first quarter as export construction recover. Korea's economy grew at the fastest pace in more than 2 years in the first quarter, driven by a recovery in exports and construction investment. What a climate-aligned IMF would look like. The board of the International Monetary Fund has approved current managing director for another 5-year term. It is a welcome development that comes at a critical moment. Her second term will finish just before the end of this make-or-break decade for reining in climate change and delivering on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. In a post-term, Georgieva won the argument that climate change is central to the IMF's mandate. Now she will have to show that the institution can rise to the challenge posed by the climate crisis at its now or never juncture. Just curiosity, what else do you need? It happened at an international academic seminar. American mathematician Arlen was presenting on the long-standing unsolved problem of the invariant subspace of the problem. The presentation was quite boring as the problem was too hard. One attendee asked him why he wanted to solve it so badly. Shields was reluctant at first and simply said it's because the problem was presented in front of him. Kospi down at close on mixed results from Wall Street. Stocks plummeted more than 1.7% Thursday as investors sought to profit following the previous session's sharp rise amid mixed overnight results on Wall Street, while the Korean won fell against the US dollar. 3 qualifications for the next president. We should not vote for an overnight sensation, as it means a roller coaster ride. 되게 멍청하게 생겼네. President Yoon could soon outdo his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida in being least popular with their people, given his recent approval ratings free fall to 23%, nearly on par with the 22% of the Japanese Prime Minister, dubbed as one of the most unpopular post-war Japanese leaders. Few meetings these days go by without hearing frustrated or angry remarks about President Yoon. Conservatives are fuming too. Many say they don't watch TV news because of him. 9 out of 10 do not believe he would change, even though he pledged to change. The traditionally rightist newspapers have joined the denouncing chorus in an abrupt about-face from praising him over the last 2 years, despite their persistent feeding of his ego and self-worth. In my perspective, we must look for 3 qualifications in the next president. First, we should not vote for an overnight sensation, as it means a roller coaster ride for 5 years. Former U.S. President Barack Obama did not rise to stardom out of the blue. He had built his political credential as an Illinois senator for 8 years from 1996. In Japan, a politician must serve in the Diet for minimum 20 years to qualify for premiership candidacy. Second, we must select a person with the right attitudes. The next president should not be snobbish or look down on the people. Without 24/7 vigilance and responsibility, the person cannot lead the country for 5 years. I personally do not wish to see another prosecutor turned president. Third, we need a president who can move beyond the loyalty base. Upon confronting a voter base, he or she, as a leader, is confining their leadership boundary. Change in employment paradigm for the elderly. It is necessary to change the job structure and shift the paradigm. A senior in his 70s works as a caregiver at the senior center in Pucheon, Gyeonggi-do. He has been employed there since he retired from a mid-sized company 10 years ago. Now he earns 1.5 million won a month by taking care of patients with mobility impairments for 6 hours a day. It's not a lot of money, but he feels the vitality of life when he works. Thanks to this job, I've been able to support myself, he said. To find a new job, I'm studying for smile treatment certification. I want to work as much as I can. It is necessary to change the job structure and shift the paradigm to a society where all the adults can work. The system of setting a certain age as the standard for elderly and excluding them from the labor market should be revamped. The legal age for retirement currently fixed at 65